Welcome to the City Manager's Report. The City Manager's Report is your preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda and an update from your Oshkosh City Manager. Your hosts, Emily Mikowski of Oshkosh Community Media and City Manager Mark Roloff.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for your City Manager's Report. My name is Emily Mikowski, your host, and I'm joined by Mark Roloff, your City Manager. And as always, we'll go over our council meeting agenda for this Tuesday, November 12th at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. And then we'll also talk about a little bit about what's going on in the city as well. So thank you so much for joining me today, Mark.
Great to be here, Emily.
Now, first on our list, it's top of mind right now, is the budget. We recently had a budget public information session, talked about some of the highlights and concerns that we had with that. The council scheduled their last budget session, which took place last night. They scheduled an additional one. What's that all about?
Well, I think part of it is that they've had a lot of input, and we've got a lot of issues going on with some relatively controversial issues. We talked about that with the budget information session, which we just recently taped, was a separate episode, separate show that we've got out there for the public to view. But the public hearing isn't going to take place until the November 12th council meeting, and I think council wants to get a little more input and even reflect on that input a little bit more before they take final action. So I think what they're looking for is another work session where they can say, okay, here's what we heard at the budget hearing from the public, here's things staff has told us, now we got to make some decisions. And I think this gives them a little more time to absorb all the information that they're going to get before they make any final decisions. The purpose of the 20th will be to give us some preliminary final decisions, and then when they are scheduled to vote on the budget on the 26th of November, they'll pretty much be able to put it all in order at this November.
Be able to vote at that point.
Yeah, get it in order that it's not a slam dunk, but at least it's in pre-final format by the time November 26th rolls around.
Okay, so really after having this budget information session, it's to gain some more feedback on what people are thinking about the budget before actually voting on it. Right.
Well, we've got the public informational session that we did and talked about the budget. I want the public to, of course, watch the episode and just take a look and learn more about the budget. And if they do have any comments, certainly contact me, contact your council members. And if you feel so moved, come to the public hearing and provide input or listen in on what's going on and then provide input. But I think council says we want to hear from the public because there are a lot of important issues there before we move anywhere. So this gives plenty of opportunity to be as accessible to the public as possible in them giving us input on the budget.
Yes, and again, that meeting will be Wednesday, November 20th at 5:30. You can watch that on City Cable 10 Live or on our website at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org. So moving on, another update, the Central Garage Project, the field operations facility, I got to get used to calling it that now. The walls are finally going up. Anyone that's driving down Witzel will see that they're making progress. It's a lot bigger now, and there's construction.
And we have a live photo now that we've got this posted. This is actually facing the northeast. So this is actually near the water distribution facility over at 3rd and Idaho. So looking northeast from there, but you can see some of the older buildings in the foreground, but in about halfway up the screen, you'll see where the new walls are coming up. So we're going to be watching the progress as it goes on throughout the construction process.
And this view is kind of interesting. It's not one that you would really get from anywhere else. I mean, there's not really a place to see this whole range of construction here, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it took a little while to get the right spot, but we felt this was the right spot. You're actually seeing, the backside, which is really the most unsightly side. So you're going to see it go from unsightly to look a lot nicer.
Yes.
And of course, the view from Witzel when it's done is going to be outstanding. Even though it's a public works facility, we recognize it has to blend in with the great office buildings that we have over there on Ohio Street, Fox Valley Technical College, the investment that Citizens First has put in, a lot of great investments in the Witzel and Ohio Street area. And even though it's just a public works facility, it needs to look blend in with the neighborhood and blend in with the all the other great investments that we have in that area.
And already, even by the exterior, just comparing to the old one, it already looks so much better. Such an improvement.
There's an understatement,
Yes.
yeah.
And also, dealing with Witzel Street, there's some lane closures going on. If you'll notice, it's down to one lane traffic through there. How long is that going to be closed for?
It's probably going to be through November 15th. So
Not that much longer.
Yeah, but if you're commuting in the morning, it may be a little inconvenient. So look out for that. Even during the day, it gets a little busier. So if you're going around during the day, you might find a little bit of inconvenience there. We're doing some utility work because we've got to get new utility connections with the new building and whatnot. So by November 15th, it should be all done, at least in terms of the disruption over there on Witzel.
Great. Well, that's not too bad. About another week then. No. Also affected by the construction at the field operations facility is the yard waste drop-off site. It's kind of moving over a little bit. Still accessible off of Idaho, though. Is that correct?
Right. I would say it's scooting over a little bit is probably
Okay.
what's happening. It used to be one in and one out gate. It's just a single in and out gate now. It's probably a little rougher terrain that you're going to be going on because this is just file footage. This is the old site. But it's very, very close to where it is now. But it'll be maintained on Idaho until it gets relocated, and then we'll let everybody know after that. But the whole idea is that the yard waste site is still open, and that's what we wanted to let people know most of all, even though it may look a little bit different when you're over there on Idaho.
And it looks like people are really taking advantage of it right around this time of the year with different brush and leaves and anything you can drop off there, planters, sticks, anything from your yard that you're looking to get rid of. Relating to that with the leaf collection, right now it's going on and it will end on November 14th, which is kind of a tentative date.
Yeah, we always have to have that date set because we've got to be ready. Our leaf trucks are also our snow trucks. So we have to do a real quick change between scenes here. And so our final pickup date is scheduled for November 14th. But honestly, if we have some trucks that haven't been converted yet to the snowplow trucks, we'll keep them out there until we finally have to get them all there. But we do have to get them eventually done. So if the quicker you can get your leaves out to the street, the better off you are. But even if we stop doing the leaf trucks and you're not there, we still have other options available for you.
Yes, we have the leaf. If you leave your leaves out in a bag, it's the first week in December, I believe, that you can leave that out for pickup. Or you're also always still able to drop this stuff off at the drop-off site that we just saw too.
The yard waste site will remain open through, until the snow starts flying. You're going to be able to pick up your leaves. And it always seems like there are some trees that are just lazy and don't get their leaves down.
Yes.
And I know we all have those. I know I have some. So we recognize that it may the 14th of November cutoff date might not be convenient for everybody, and we certainly understand that. But we do have to get the snowplow trucks converted over, and I know everybody loves our snowplow trucks. So what we do ask you is, again, your loose leaf collection is the day after the garbage day normally, but we'll get out there other days too if necessary. And please don't rake your leaves into the street. That's actually a little dangerous. We don't want them clogging up our storm sewer inlets or anything like that. Keep them on the terrace. We'll get to them. Don't worry. We'll take care of it. And you can always, even there, you can also mulch your leaves with your lawnmower or something like that. So there's lots of different options. You don't have to rake all of them up. Mother Nature can take care of them as well.
Yes, definitely. So just moving on here, something that's also kind of current is the Greater Oshkosh Economic Development Commission, GO EDC. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Well, it's a collection of so many different organizations that are engaged in community development, and really what we're trying to do is, this is some direction that the council had given me to try to centralize economic development, and where we're working with all of our different partners is to provide coordinated, collaborative, and accountable leadership and focus for economic development for the entire area. So that's really what the purpose of this group is for starters.
Okay, so what are they doing to accomplish these goals?
Well, one of the things is, the first thing we've done is we've recognized the need for coordination. And economic development is so important. And we talked about that during the budget process, that we need to increase our tax base because then we can share it with a lot more people, a lot more taxpayers. But to do that, we need to identify projects that really would benefit from coordinated efforts and prioritize those and get them aligned with each other, making sure that each organization is aware of what the other is doing, because we don't want to be tripping over each other doing the same thing. It's very inefficient when you do that. And then how can we more effectively serve the community? Prioritize goals and identify things that maybe we aren't doing that we should be doing. It's all those types of efforts that we're working on.
Okay, and so right now it's just an initiative. Is this going to eventually evolve into something more formal than that?
It'll depend on what happens. I see the possibility of that happening down the road, but we have to say, how can we get these projects done with our current structures and our current format? But if it does lead to something more formal, I'm certainly open to that, and I think there might be some benefit to that.
Okay, great. Well, we're looking forward to see where that goes. Moving on, some exciting news that we have here with the Parks Department. Our Parks Director, Ray Maurer, was honored with a Wisconsin Parks and Recreation Association award, honor, like the highest honor that you can get, apparently. I'm just learning about this, but the Professional Award of Merit that he got. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. This is really to recognize Ray for his career-long commitment to Parks and Recreation. He's done some wonderful things here that I was able to cite in my nomination of Ray for this award, but it's recognizing his long career. He's been with the Village of Brown Deer, City of Cedarburg, and the City of Oconomowoc before he came to work for us in Oshkosh. He's gotten our Parks Master Plan done here and started the implementation of that, fulfilled a lot of dreams that our previous Park Director, Tom Stefani, had developed, put him into action, the otter exhibit at the zoo and so many other things, prioritizing our parks projects. And plus he has also served the Wisconsin Parks and Recreation Association on a statewide level, provide a lot of guidance and leadership to all the parks and recreation professionals throughout the state, and that's part of the reason he's being recognized as well. So we're real proud of Ray for this.
Yes, and he comes in and chats with us on Your City at Work too every once in a while, so we appreciate that too.
Well, yeah, and part of it is informing the public and prioritizing things, and I think Ray does a real effective job at keeping the public informed on what's going on in parks and recreation.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a well-deserved achievement on his part.
Yeah,
for
we're
sure.
real proud of him.
Also, another award that, speaking with the Parks Department, the Leach Amphitheater was recently awarded the Best of Winnebago County award as Best Live Music Venue. So that's exciting.
That was really cool. The Northwestern identified from their readers some great places in Winnebago County, and Best Live Music Venue. I think the Citizens First Live at Leach, that's on Tuesday nights, as well as the Waterfest series. I don't think the Live at Leach is more of a family-oriented. This looks a little wilder, so I'm guessing
a little more like Waterfest.
This looks a little more like Waterfest, but the venue itself is really what's getting the award. And it started with Waterfest. Waterfest moved here with a long history, but adding the Live at the Leach series, making it a more family-oriented venue as well. We've got a great variety of events over there at the Leach Amphitheater, and then you throw in Irish Fest and the other festivals we've had.
It's
really
amazing the range of things that they have at the Leach now, and just how much progress they've made too, with even just looking at the live music venue part.
It's a wonder, and there's a more of a little family-oriented type of event. It really does work for everybody. So many different people, and it's just a wonderful showplace for the community, and we're real proud.
Excellent. And I was actually there for the first time for the Mayor's Breakfast this summer, and so that was the first time I got to experience the Leach. So I'll have to make plans next year to go to the Live at the Leach and the Waterfest too.
There you go.
Another exciting piece of news that we have here at City Hall is we recently hired a new finance director, and this is big news here. His name is Ralph Chipman, and you want to tell us a little bit about him?
Sure. We selected Ralph from the pool of 20 candidates we had. Ralph is actually a native of Berlin, not too far from here, and went to school at UW Oshkosh. Met his wife here, so they both have a lot of familiarity with the area. Ralph's been in public finance for 25 years now. He worked in public accounting as well as worked for the city of New Berlin down in the Milwaukee area. He's been the finance director there for a few years, and we're real excited he's going to be joining us. Got a great background in finance, and so we'll be introducing him at the November 26th council meeting, and he starts on November 25th. So we're very excited that Ralph's going to be joining us.
We're definitely looking forward to it, especially after the whole budget time here. It'll be perfect timing for him to start.
Yep, sure will.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we'll go over the City Council meeting agenda for Tuesday, November 12th at 6 p.m. And then we'll also go over our favorite section is question mark. We'll be right back on City Manager's Report.
Hi, I'm Mayor Bergtower, and I'm asking for your help. The city has several boards and commissions that play important roles in just about every aspect of local government. Whether it's the Parks Board or the Landmarks Commission, these and other boards act as a forum for citizens to address their concerns and questions about Oshkosh city government. The boards also provide members the opportunity to make positive suggestions to the council or city staff to move the city forward. So here's where we need your help. For our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Many of our boards and commissions currently need members. We're asking for just a few hours of your time each month to serve on one of our boards or commissions and help to ensure a strong democratic process. So please consider serving on a city board or commission. For an application, visit the city website, stop by the city manager's office in City Hall, or call 236-5000. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to your possible involvement.
Thanks again for joining us on your City Manager's Report. My name is Emily Mikowski, and I'm joined by your City Manager, Mark Roloff. Now, before we dive into the council agenda, we'll go ahead and tackle our question mark question of the day here. So let's take a look and see what the viewers had to ask today. All right, the question today is, when will the holiday decorations go up on city streets?
Yeah, if we didn't answer that question, I think there might be some people angry
I think there might have
about
been a little bit of a repercussion with that one.
Well, the decorations are going to be going up the week of November 11th. They always need to be up by the day of the holiday parade. The holiday parade is scheduled for Thursday,
November 14th.
November 14th. You're going to be hosting it with Jeff Thorkelson.
I'm so excited for it. It's going to be a really good time.
I think you'll have a lot of fun with it, but we need to get it up before November 14th. So you'll see it up there by that date. I assure you that we can't have the holiday parade unless we get the decorations up. But I know that's something that gets people into the holiday spirit, and we certainly want to encourage that.
Yes, it's definitely time to get them up now that the weather's changing too. So moving on to the council meeting agenda for this Tuesday, November 12th at 6 p.m. Starting out, there's going to be a proclamation about Small Business Saturday, November 30th. Speaking
of holidays, Small Business Saturday is November 30th. It's Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it really is intended to identify local businesses and supporting local businesses. A lot of people do find the convenience of shopping on the internet or going to a mall or something, but the small businesses where all the profits stay in the community, that's the whole idea. So if you can go to a small business and just recognize the value and the service that you get from local vendors, you'll really see that, hey, this is a good option to pursue, not just every once in a while, but on a regular basis. And so we want to support our local businesses this way.
Definitely. And then also right after the proclamation, just another reminder that the public hearing for the city budget will take place before the meeting gets going. A chance for citizens to come in and give some input on the city budget.
Yeah, this is their chance to do it, and encourage everybody. If you want to have some input, come to the meeting, or you can certainly email me or a council member.
Yes. And moving on to item, number 11 here, but it's on impacted soil excavation in transportation and site grading for the Oshkosh School District. And it says field operations facility on here, which may be misleading, but it's really about the school district.
Right. This is a change order that is to the contract that we have for the public works facility, but we actually saw an opportunity here working with the school district. They had some soil that they needed to get rid of at the Oak Lawn School site. And so we saw an opportunity to help them move some of that soil and actually take care of some area that we have. A lot of people may be familiar with Quarry Park, which is over just off of Knapp Street. On the west side of Knapp Street, there's an area that is also a landfill, an old landfill that the city bought for parkland years ago, and it settles as the garbage decomposes. So we agreed to take the soil from Oak Lawn. The school district was going to have to landfill that anyway, so they're saving the money by only having to haul it over to our site, and we get the extra soil. It's a big hump of land right now, but as time goes on, as the garbage decomposes beneath it, it'll gradually settle down. So it truly is a win-win, and it's a great example of things that we've been doing with the school district and the county and all of our surrounding governmental entities to identify areas where we can save the taxpayers money and benefit both entities at the same time.
And so really this is about the transportation of that soil more than anything else.
That's really all it has to do with. It's excavating the soil and moving it, and we agreed to do that because it was more cost effective for us to do it for the school district, and they're going to reimburse us, so it truly is one of those win-win situations.
Great. And then another item that we just wanted to touch on here is having to do with the annual fee for collection of recyclables. And this is dealing with what we talked about in our budget session yesterday, actually. If the fee does get passed with the budget, this would be the next step in that, right?
Correct. Any ordinance requires 2 readings. So this is just the first reading of the ordinance. We have a hearing on the budget, and people can also comment on the proposed recycling fee at this time. Council will not be voting on it at this meeting. The whole idea is to give public the time to provide some input on it. On the November 26th meeting, it'll be on the agenda again for its second reading, and the council at that time will either approve or disapprove it, but it'll really depend on what happens with the budget. If it gets approved in the budget, then you would expect it to get approved here. If it doesn't get approved in the budget, then it would be moot point and we wouldn't need to do it.
Great. And then the next 3 here, all relating to the Marion Road apartments. Can you tell us about these 3 items on the agenda here?
Along Marion Road, there is a apartment complex that's actually for senior housing called the Rivers. This next phase, we're tentatively calling it the Rivers 2, is not just for seniors, it's for anybody. And we are going to be selling this property for $1 to a developer who is going to put in these apartments. But there's 3 things that need to happen. First off, we need to actually sell the land to them, but they're required to comply with the development agreement, and that's the first item. The next item is the plan development. We review the plan, approve the plan with the Plan Commission to make sure that it fits in with the neighborhood, fits in with what our plans are, our vision is for this area. And then thirdly, this is some area that's old industrial sites. People say, why are you selling this for $1? Well, it wouldn't sell on the open market unless we were able to clean it up. There's plenty of other lands that people can choose that are a lot easier to develop without all the hassle. What we do is we clean it up and then we sell it for a much reduced price, and then they come in and they build upon it and create land value in the city where right now it actually kind of has negative value. So the third one is to begin the process to do the environmental site closure, clean it up, and then get the DNR to sign off on it so that the developer can develop the site.
So it really is quite a process here, especially on lands like this that are needing that development and that cleanup there.
It's the culmination of 25 years. So yeah, there's a lot of work associated with this, but it's important that people remember the long history that's been going along the riverfront. We've transformed an industrial area into a residential area and a recreational area with our Riverwalk. If it wasn't for us buying the lands, cleaning it up, there would be absolutely no demand for these types of facilities. So this is part of what cities do to help rehabilitate older areas to make them more vibrant, exciting. We're hoping that a variety of people, we have seniors in one of the complexes. This is meant for people of all ages, including families, if they want to come down here. So we're hoping that this will be able to be done in relatively short order and get more people downtown shopping, dining, walking along the riverfront, and attract more people in the process.
Another exciting addition to the riverfront that we can look forward to.
Very excited about this.
The next item on the agenda here has to do with Senate Bill 349, having to do with taking away some municipal authority. Can you tell us about this bill that we're looking to approve to oppose it?
Yeah, it's interesting that this is brought up this way because, number one, local governments are closest to the people. We know what our community needs and what our community wants to bring it forward. And oddly enough, this bill has more to do with all the stuff you hear about going on in northern Wisconsin with frac sand mining. And I can assure you that there's no frac sand mining going on in Oshkosh. So why is Oshkosh and all the other communities throughout the state getting dragged into this bill? It really is unnecessary. It's really overkill. And what they're doing is they're taking care of some issues that need to be addressed in northern Wisconsin. You may agree or disagree with that, and I respect your opinions on that, but why bring in things like regulating quarries that are in the middle of a central city like Oshkosh? We've got a quarry on Knapp Street. Why would we want to have something having to do with northern Wisconsin in a rural area apply to a city? It just makes no sense. This is not one size fits all. You really need to take a look at what community needs are before you start shooting from the hip on legislation that really is inappropriate for a municipal urban city. This also is getting into water quality and quantity. It wants to regulate our stormwater requirements. And again, this shows you that one size does not fit all. Take a look at central Wisconsin. A lot of sand in the soil. The water drains pretty easily because it soaks into the sand. We have clay soils here. The water does not just drain in, it runs off.
Not easy absorption.
No, not at all. And so you cannot have the same stormwater regulations in clay soil that you do on sand. That's common sense. And you can tell I'm getting a little angry about this because it really is undermining what's being done at the local level to address stormwater. So the council said, we want this on the agenda because we want people to know that we oppose this. We want to let our legislators know that we need to be more common sense in our approach to managing stormwater in the city and don't develop a one-size-fits-all solution for the state. It just will not work here in Oshkosh.
And this is something to keep an eye out in the future then for more updates on that too.
Yes.
Okay, and then moving down to some of your announcements here that we have for Tuesday. Citizens for a Strong Oshkosh meeting presentation going on November 18th at Oak Lawn School. What can you tell us about that?
This is an annual event that Citizens for Strong Oshkosh have been putting on. All the governmental entities in the area, city, county, school district, university, tech college, just given an outlook on what 2014 is going to look like. So it's a way for citizens to learn not just about the city government. I have like 5 minutes. Everybody has about 5 minutes to give a presentation. And it's on November 18th at 5 p.m. at Oak Lawn School. So if you haven't already gone over to see it, the whole idea is to also get a look at the new Oak Lawn. So you can kind of...
And we will be recording that for later view too on City Cable 10 or on our website at Oshkosh Community Media too.
That's right.
And for just a few seconds, we wanted to take a moment to appreciate that today is our 400th episode on the City Manager's Report. And so we had to take a little time to, look at our little graphic
yes,
we have here.
all the surprises and everything.
Yeah, so it's a big day.
Well, we haven't been there for all 400 episodes. I think.
No, we haven't.
I think you counted 10 that you've done?
I think it's been about 10 for me at this point.
And I figured it's about 120, 125 for me so far.
So that's something to celebrate for us too.
It is. I enjoy doing this show. I hope the public learns from it because that's the whole idea, is to let people know about what we're doing. And so hope you keep watching, and we're happy to keep informing the public on what's going on.
Yes, and it's great to be here every time too.
There we go.
Once more, the City Council meeting is this Tuesday, November 12th at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers. It'll be live on City Cable 10 and OshkoshCommunityMedia.org. You can also listen to it on 101.9 WOCT. Send any questions for City Manager Mark Roloff to ci.oshkosh.wi.us. Thank you so much again for joining us today on your City Manager's Report, and we'll see you again.